Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. Today's topic is how to invest in stocks step by step for beginners. I know this is a very popular topic. A lot of people are looking to get into the world of finance or investing, especially during the current world events. So without further ado, the first thing I would suggest doing, very first thing, is to decide if you are an active or a passive stock investor. Pretty much meaning if you are active, you are going to be choosing the stocks yourself. You're going to be looking through all of the information, trying to figure out exactly which companies are best for you or for your portfolio. Or on the flip side, if you are a passive investor, you can have a stock brokerage company simply do this for you, or there are many companies as well that will kind of bundle stocks together and you can buy into that. And then you therefore own portions of all of those stocks as well. This is very important for your first step because a lot of people assume when they look at investing online or when they're looking for personal information onto exactly how to get into this world of finance, a lot of people think that in order to get into stocks, you have to be a day trader. Everything has to be fast, moving, quick, active, all over the place. You've seen the videos before. I made this much money per day, and they're like clicking all over the place. They have 5 different screens. That's not how it actually works. These people are day traders and you're looking to be a stock investor. Therefore, there is a little divide between the both of you. Decide if you want to choose them yourself or if you would like to have other people choose them for you. If you are a beginner, it is probably a lot easier to have a company choose the stocks for you, just logically. Second thing, figure out your level of risk tolerance. And this is also very important. It comes down more to, once again, if you are a 1 or a 10, 10 being extremely risky. 10 would normally be around penny stocks, which we're not going to discuss today. That's not the beginning of stock trading. A 1 to a 5 would simply be anywhere from relatively well-known companies to very well-known companies, such as Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, what have you, all the major big names. It's important to know this as well because a lot of times, while you may be able to get into something that is riskier, it could sometimes also have a higher level of return. However, with that risk also comes the risk of you losing all of your money. So I would also recommend in the very beginning to you look for larger companies, very well-known companies, and figure out your level of risk when investing. Always keep in mind, every investment, no matter what it is always risky. So there is always a chance of you losing all of your money. That's just how every single market works. That's also something to keep in mind as well. A lot of people get into investing or into the stock market thinking that they can make bajillions of dollars. Don't forget, everything is risky. And this is why we have multiple different markets for people to be able to get into. 3, I would recommend myself finding companies that interest you, more so which companies you would like to invest in. This could be a range of different things. Sometimes I've told friends before who thought about getting into stocks and companies and stuff like that. And I said, which companies are you interested in? And they were like, the good ones. And then I told them a couple of good ones and they were like, I don't like that brand. I don't like what they do. I don't like what they've done. I don't like so and so and so. So there is not, and there are not just one group of blue chip companies. Blue chip companies, if you Google it, pretty much meaning large financial corporations who have been around for a very long time. It's not just one of them. There are multiple, so you can actually have your pick and choose exactly which ones you want to have in your portfolio, which ones you feel the best with. This isn't really for everyone. A lot of times, some people simply don't care which companies they're in. This might also be you, just for the other side, if you actually want to do a bit more diligent learning as to exactly which companies you would like to have in your portfolio. Research the companies. It also doesn't hurt as well to research as well. A lot of people who are slightly more active when it comes to investing, it's not a bad idea to invest which companies you're going to get into, not so much like their entire history, where they came from in the 1890s. It's more so, are they doing well? Have they been doing well for the last couple of years? Does it look like they're going to continue to do well? Do they have any mergers coming up? Do they have any other companies who they are soon going to be buying, assimilating, accumulating? Is usually very good signs that the company is healthy, that they're rich, they're going to stay rich, and they may even be buying up the competition, which then means that this company will also continue to do exceedingly well in the future. So don't be afraid to research. It's always quite important. The fourth thing is to open up an actual stock or brokerage account. That's not a lot of steps to get to where you need to go. I would research them just to figure out which ones have the lowest fees, simply because sometimes you may find a website that everywhere you go is going to have some type of fees somewhere. This is how they make their money. They are a business, so they're going to have fees associated with them in some way. You will find places that have 1% fees. You'll find some that have 1.5% fees. You'll find places that have 0.95 fees, 0.45, and sometimes they fluctuate and they vary. Just to kind of give you some names, people usually ask me, what names do I have to suggest? You have Robinhood, you have Cash App, you have TD Ameritrade, you have Vanguard, that is Vanguard. I think it's Guard. Just type in Vanguard stock, you'll be able to find it. You have Fidelity, and you have Charles Schwab. These are just to name a few. There are, of course, many more. These are some of the most well-known names out there. I myself, before in the past, when I used to dabble in stocks and mutual funds a bit more, I used Fidelity, Vanguard, because they had some of the lowest fees. It didn't really make sense how low their fees were, but I think this is also, they can have lower fees because they probably have more people going to them because of the lower fees. So their spread is probably just as wide as far as them making money from the actual fees. 5, and this is probably one of the most important things. Contact them. I can only on this channel give you so much information. I cannot hold your hand and click the mouse for you. A lot of people sometimes, I think, get afraid when it comes to contacting these companies. Don't be afraid. They are there to help you, and they are going to help you. Test it out. Before you even think of opening any account, send them a message. Write them, hey, I am this. I'm looking to make this amount of money. I have this much amount of money I'm looking to put into the market. Can you suggest what I could do, how this works, what your fees are, exemptions, like any tax implications, any questions you might have regarding to investing on this particular thing when it comes to stocks, ask them. This is what they're there for. A lot of times still, I have friends and family members who will ask me these simple questions kind of that they can Google themselves, not saying that I'm annoyed by them. However, sometimes they're very simple. Like, I'm not the company myself. I cannot tell you the exact fees and how the structure of Vanguard or Fidelity works. That's why they're a company, so that you can ask them. Don't be afraid. Always remember, it's your money. They in turn want to also invest your money so that they get a fee. So they are also incentivized to be able to answer your questions. Ask away. Anything you might have that I may not even have covered here, ask them, and I'm sure they will give you a proper answer for it. I would also ask about some type of auto investing options. These are becoming very big over the last couple of years. There are a number of options for a number of these platforms where they will take out money automatically from your account every single month, depending on what number you're comfortable with investing, and put that into this stock investment vehicle. A lot of people feel more comfortable with things like this. It becomes a bit of a hassle if every single month you have to remember to send 50 to buy stocks, to send 100 to buy stocks, to send 250 to put into the stocks. If it's taken automatically from your account every single month, you don't have to think about it. It's kind of like Netflix. If the money comes out automatically from your PayPal or somewhere else, you still turn on Netflix, but you don't have to remember that you had to pay for Netflix. I would, if you think you would like to invest in stocks for the long term, definitely ask about this. I'm pretty sure they should all have an auto payment investing feature. This is kind of how they all generally work, and it makes life a lot easier when you're just trying to auto invest in anything. Ask them about it. I'm pretty sure they have it. There are a number of apps on your phone that also auto invest. I have a couple of friends who use these, told me that they've used them. I'll tell you which one exactly as well. And it worked out for them as well, because a lot of these auto investing stock apps as well have options where, let's say you go into a store and you buy something that comes out to $19.71. The additional 29 cents, rounding up to $20, will be taken from the transaction and actually auto-invested into stocks as well. A lot of people like that idea. It gives, realistically, what are you doing with the extra 29 cents? It could go towards being able to buy pieces of companies and therefore building up a property portfolio or investment portfolio. You know what I'm trying to say. The names that are relatively popular, of course, there are more. However, these are just some of the names out there. Are Acorns, that is Acorns, like actual acorns, M1 Finance, Personal Capital, Robinhood once again, which is incredibly popular, and stash, S-T-A-S-H. The friend that I'm thinking of at the top of my head was using Acorns, and she said her and her family loved it. I assume they're doing a lot of weird number purchases, and therefore it's building up their stock portfolio, because I think she eventually wants to pass it on to her kids, or not important. Seventh thing, I would recommend choosing or finding a budget. It's going to be different for everyone. However, don't assume that because your number might be lower than someone else that you are simply not doing a good job. There are billions of people on this planet who have not invested and will never get a chance to invest. Even if you put in $1 per month, maybe put a little bit more, you're still far ahead of the curve. It can be anywhere from 50 to 100 to 500 per month. Any more should you decide you're feeling, risque and want to put more money into the market. I would recommend just doing something, just starting in some sort of way. It seems to be a big hurdle for a lot of people to eventually get into these markets, because I think they assume that things are more daunting than they actually are. We've read the first 4 things that we went over were all you pretty much needed to know. Figure out the companies, open it up, contact them. And then after that, you start linking your account and stuff like that and start buying the stocks or auto buying the stocks. Don't feel overwhelmed. I know it can seem like a lot at first. This is why I said to contact them. A lot of people's fears are usually eased after contacting these companies. Once again, they also have an incentive to make money. So they will answer you to the best of their knowledge, and they should know everything at that point. You get what I'm saying. The last part is to keep researching. I say this every other video. I say this on my other channel. Never stop learning. Keep acquiring more information. You can learn, if you want, what a security is, what an equity is, or even what the CFTC is. You're probably not going to learn any of these 3. They're also very boring topics. The point is, don't stop learning. Continue to acquire more information as many times as you possibly can. It got really bright in here, like all of a sudden. Yeah, it's not difficult. I started myself many years ago. Contact them right now. If you, what are you doing after this video? Send them a message, send them an email, write them on the website. Any questions you might have as far as it goes. And yeah, that's all there is. I think the hardest part when it comes to stock investing is just figuring out which companies you want to put your money into. But then you also have something called mutual funds on Vanguard. A mutual fund in its quickest form is pretty much and also with an index fund, it's pretty much a compilation of stocks that are bunched together. And then you buy into that fund. Sometimes they can be $14.99 per fund, per portion of the fund. And you'll actually end up owning different fractions of tons of major companies. So on Vanguard, when I used to have mutual funds, there was one that I used to buy into. I literally think it was around $14.99 per month. And it had Apple, Microsoft, all the major big names in it. And the fund itself was relatively inexpensive. You're also able to check on the actual website when you're buying these funds or having someone assist you in buying these funds. You can see the actual market performance of the thing you're trying to buy into. So you can also determine they've been doing well for the last 15 years. Therefore, I would like to buy into them. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope I answered all of your questions. If I missed anything, ask me in the comment section below. I will try to make another video and or lead you down the right path. I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.